This is 5A, PDF 417, paragraph 41. This sentence is between placetum G and placetum H.
Page number?
417, volume 5A. It's between G and H, which says exactly what I'm trying to, let's say, consistent with my submission before your lordships.
Actually, therefore, it's important to clear a cobweb, which is that Article 30 does not mandate that administration must be only by the minority itself.
That's correct.
In the sense that the personnel who administer are not required by Article 30 to belong to the minority itself.
Exactly.
What Article 30 contemplates and recognizes is the right, namely the right of choice, the discretion which is given to the minority to administer.
That's correct.
In a manner which they deem appropriate.
Correct.
Therefore, it's not that if you don't have only people of your community,
Correct.
then you risk losing your minority character.
Correct.
Because the choice is yours. You may have persons belonging to your community, you may not have persons belonging to your community.
Just to give an example, Mullah, that I have myself experienced, I happened to be in the governing body of St. Stephen's at one point in time, Mullah. Most of it were non-minority people.
The essential element of Article 30 is the conferment of choice on the minority.
That's correct. That's correct. So we are missing the link, Mullah.
It can't be read in the reverse
Yeah.
to impose an embargo that you will not have anybody save your community.
Mullah, the minority will not have the expertise to run the institution, many of these institutions. Will not have. For force, we'll have to take people from outside. That's why St. Stephen says, have faith and founders in whom the founders have faith and confidence. I have confidence in 10 people in the majority community to run my institution. I'll give it to them to run it. Doesn't make the institution a non-minority institution because it is founded by the minority. The inspiration to set up an institution is that of the minority. The steps taken to set up the institution is of the minority. The persuasion done by the institution to the government and the authorities is by the minority. So as long as these elements are satisfied, it's founded by the minority.
Can you come again on that? The inspiration to set up...
The inspiration to set up the institution is by the minority. The steps taken for persuasion are by the minority. The essential paraphernalia of initial funding by the minority. Persuading the authorities to accept that fact by the minority. And all these elements are satisfied in this case. So the genesis of the institution is the test. That is antecedent to recognition. All that is antecedent to recognition. And Basha says, because you are incorporated, you have lost the status of a minority. This is the problem. This is the problem with Basha. And remember, Malats, when Basha was decided in 68, In-Ray Education Bill was already there. Not referred to in Basha.
It is referred to.
Not dealt with. Siddhaj Bhai.
Dealt with also.
Siddhaj Bhai already there. And of course, now we have TMA Pi and other issues, other judgments. So the interplay of 1906 is fundamental. Now, Malats, Council for Architecture, we have people giving degrees in architecture. We don't have Muslim community people in architecture. Enough. Anyway, so I'm done with this part.
Now what remains, Dr. Mrs. Sibal, what remains?
I've already said that if it glossed over, yes.
What remains now, Mrs.
Now, a couple how the reference came is very important, Malas. I just give your lordships that. Now, Malas, as your lordship knows, give me that note. And I'm just giving you.
Mr. Sibal, you're quite proficient from where you began last year on your laptop.
No, I'm very proficient, Malas. Now I'm completely, it's just that it'll be quicker if she does it than I, Malas, do it.
Inspired by your example.
No, I do it.
Dr. Dhawan, you have not made any progression at all on that. Just, I must also tell you that there's a world of literature which opens up when you use your iPad.
Absolutely.
Which is so,
absolutely. Yeah. Not
forget all this.
There's also a world of abuse that opens up.
Of course.
We have to suffer, get enriched by one and suffer the other.
Myself from agreeing with Mr. Sindhu.
Now, just see, just these note these days, 1899, the MAO College was formed,
18?
1899. MAO College Old Boys Association was formed. Who is the petitioner here, Maharaj? 1899.
Old Boys Association.
Old Boys Association was formed. And who is the petitioner? I mean, I'm the petitioner here. In 1920, the Aligarh AMU Act was passed. And in fact, that's just a matter of interest, the ordinary members of the court were to be appointed by the Old Boys Association from its own members. That was as per the statute.
The ordinary members of the court.
Were to be appointed by the Old Boys Association as per the statute. That was the extent to which the Old Boys Association was associated. Then your lordship knows, and I will not trouble your lordship because just Dr. Dhawan has dealt with it. The 51 Act came, which amended Miller's.
Yes,
The Act was amended by the 51.
It means prior to 2020.
In the 2020 Act.
In fact, in the type version, it was missed out.
So they missed out in the type version, it is there. In the
What is the
original
next
version.
date? Were you saying, Mr. Sibal,
In
what is the
volume
next
4.
date? I missed that.
Yeah.
What is the next date?
Then 1965, it was further amended, your lordship
The
knows.
first amendment was in
51. Well, it's really the essential element was that Section 9, which earlier said instructions in Muslim religion would be compulsory to Muslim students, that was omitted. That's all that happened. So Basha,
In 1951.
yes, in 1951.
What happens? Just tell
Well,
us.
as the instructions in Muslim religion would be compulsory to Muslim students, that was omitted. So Basha says nothing much happened, no real amendment. It became optional. So it had no impact on the decision in Basha. And then the proviso to 23 was also omitted, that only a Muslim can be a member of the court. That also was omitted. Just these two things happened. So therefore, but factually only Muslims continued, but there was a 23. That's what happened under the 51 Act. Now, in the 65 Act, which also has been dealt with, but I just tell your lordships in a second as to what happened. All powers of the court were given to the Executive Council.
Mr. Sibal, we have the reasons why the 51 amendment was moved, reasons or objects and purpose of that?
I've not investigated it. I'll find out.
Can you just tell us the 51 amendment page, or Junior can just tell you which is?
Yes, page 99 is the first, paragraph 2B, page 99.
Of volume?
Malas, can I just upload it? This will be given a chart, it's better.
Sure. But 1951.
Volume 4A, I just give it.
4A.
Volume 4A at page 99 is the
1951.
Oh, your lordship wants the 51 Act or the 65 Act?
51 Act.
51 Act, the first amendment is the Section 9 amendment is volume 4A at 90, paragraph 2. At page 90, paragraph 2.
Yes.
Which omitted Section 9. The second amendment of proviso to Section 23 is 4A again, page 93, paragraph 17. 4A again, page 93, paragraph 17. So those are the two amendments in the 51 Act. The religious instruction was made optional for Muslims, and can I just airdrop it, Mullah? It's just a note, you just do it now so that it's easier. We've done it, Mullah.
51, it shows.
Because it's yeah. I know that on the screen.
Where?
That's right. Now, I just point out. So this was on the 51 Act. Then the 65 Act, Mullahs, what did it do? In volume 4A, page 99, para 2B, the powers of the court were given to the Executive Council. This is volume 4A.
This is also volume 4A? Mr.
4A. All is in 4A. Page
Powers of?
99.
Powers of?
Powers of the court, erstwhile powers of the court were given to the Executive Council. That's at page 99 of volume 4A, paragraph 2, small b. And then statute 8, that is members of the court, was amended.
Statute?
8, which is members of the court, was amended. That's in 4A at 102, page 102. And then the other was all existing members of the court and Executive Council were ceased to hold their office. That's at page 105, volume 4A again, paragraph 10. This was an emergent situation, and This then in 65 was challenged, not by AMU, not by anybody else, challenged in a PIL petition, which resulted in Basha in 1968. The Old Boys Association were not parties, AMU was not party.
This challenge, I think, include 1951 amendment also.
Yes, yes.
Both.
But Basha said 51 really is not too relevant. 65, both were under challenge. What happened thereafter, and this is very interesting, Mullahs, during the court, when this came up in Parliament, and at that time, Mr. Chagla made a statement, which I give it to your lordships. That's in volume 4C. Yeah. 4C 1325. That's important, Mullahs.
4C, page 1325.
25.
Mr. Chagla is the Minister of Education.
Yes, correct, Mullahs. At 1325, volume 4C.
ये बंद कर दो, correct me.
Because Mullahs Ali Awar Jung was then the Vice Chancellor. Mullahs, there was an agitation because the institutional, remember Mullahs, there's a school there. There's also institutional reservation that was reduced from 75 to 50%. There was a huge agitation all over the country. And the Ali Awar Jung was injured in the process and he was manhandled. So therefore, as a temporary measure, they sort of said, we must stop this maladministration. That was the reason for this. But kindly see, Mullahs, at this, at volume 4C, page 1325. What Chagla says, Mullahs, in Parliament. My lords have?
Yes.
Now kindly see, Mullahs, Mr. Speaker, on the right-hand side. As we all know, we are facing a very serious crisis just now. There is aggression, there is undeclared war. We should do everything in our power to maintain communal peace and harmony. We should not say a word which will interfere with the harmony which exists and which should continue to exist. Today, we should think of ourselves not as Hindus or Muslims, but as Indians, one and all. I wish, Mullah, this reverberates, to reverberate in India as we stand here.